Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Twiz Time Eating. What's up, guys? Cesar. Welcome back to Big Time Eating. Welcome back to Big Time Recipes. Today, we're doing the holiday classic, green bean casserole. Let's talk about the ingredients. So, fresh cut green beans. Ingredients amounts listed below. All-purpose flour, unsalted butter, mushrooms that I diced up, some white wine, Sauvignon Blanc, some heavy cream, chicken stock, some light soy sauce, rice vinegar, our sliced up onions, some Parmesan Reggiano, fried shallots, coarse garlic for mincing. Last but not least, salt and pepper to taste. Right now, first step, I want to caramelize the onions. So right in my pan here, I've got a few tablespoons of unsalted butter. I'm going to get my induction burner about 3 out of 10, so medium-low. Give our onions a nice, consistent heat, and this is just going to be used to make sure things aren't browning too heavily. And I am using unsalted here because once everything goes together, there's going to be a lot of salt in the dish, so we don't want seasoning getting out of hand. All right, once our butter is fully melted down, we can get our onions added in to the mix. This may look like a massive quantity of onions right now, but I promise it's going to cook down to about a fraction of the size. All right, to get the caramelizing process going, we're going to go in with some healthy cranks of salt, some Le Cranks. And what this does, draws the moisture out of the onions, so it allows them to soften a little bit quicker. At this point, I'm going to crank my heat up to a 5 out of 10 and start these sauteing, and then I'll back it back down once things start to brown. We've got our onions caramelizing on the stove now. What we're going to work on now is our cream of mushroom. So we're replacing that BS in the can, that Campbell's crap. We're going to make our own. All right, so we got a cast iron Dutch oven on my induction burner here. I'm going to go in with a couple more tablespoons of unsalted butter. So this looks like a lot of mushrooms, but once it starts to cook down, it'll come together nicely. Okay, so we will add those in. The butter's melted, about a pound total. I'm just using the porcini mushrooms or the baby portobello. You're also more than welcome to use just porcini or those white mushrooms. They're the same type of mushroom, just whatever your preference is there. Got our mushrooms in. Going to add a touch of salt. Similar to the onions that are caramelizing, we want these mushrooms to release the moisture. Fill in with a tiny bit more butter. You can see now that the moisture has mostly been released and has started to evaporate, and we're really on the verge of frying. So at this point, I want to give my garlic a little bit of a head start. So I've got 5 cloves of crushed garlic. You can mince it up. I didn't feel like mincing things up, so I just put it through the garlic press. Gonna add that in now. And this is smelling fantastic, guys. I cannot lie to you. Whenever you add garlic or onions to anything, it smells immaculate, and it's the same case with adding it to these mushrooms here. So now that our mushrooms are about to take on a little bit of color, we want to add in our thyme. Allow that to go for about a minute. So adding that in now. Now going to add in our 65 grams of all-purpose flour for our roux. This is what's going to thicken up our cream. So want to get that incorporated on the mushrooms. And as you can see, adding in that flour will dry everything up real quick. I'm gonna go in with the chicken broth first, or chicken stock. You can use homemade if you'd like. I'm sure that'd be much better. But just for the sake of time, got 400 grams here. Adding that in. And I'll just add in all of that now, as well as about 130 grams of heavy cream here. And we will give that the opportunity to come up to the simmer and reduce. I'm gonna go check on the onions, smelling them a little bit, and I'll be right back with you. All right, guys, as you can see here, we're starting to get to that picturesque cream of mushroom, almost a sludge-like texture of that cream mushroom soup. But this is miles and 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 miles ahead of that stuff you find in that little tin can, all right? Right now, I want to add in about a tablespoon or 2 of light soy sauce. This is going to add another depth of umami flavor. So I'm going to go in with that now, as well as this right here, nutmeg. I know I'm using ground nutmeg, guys. I really tried to make it happen, tried to get the whole, but at the end of the day, you gotta use what you got, and we'll go in with about 5 grams of that. Last but not least, white wine. So we'll loosen it up. About a cup of white wine. Get that all mixed in. And that's that. We're pretty much there. I'm gonna set this aside, wait for our caramelized onions to finish up, and then we'll get going with the blanching process for our green beans. So we're going in with our sauteed onions. These are getting pretty close to where I wanted to be. So I'm gonna add in a little bit of vinegar. Again, I'm just using rice wine, so just a couple splashes in. And that's it. I'm just gonna incorporate that in as we caramelize. Forgot to mention this in the ingredients portion. My apologies. We're gonna do a panko breadcrumb topping along with our fried shallots. So it's really simple. Just get some store-bought panko breadcrumbs and maybe about a tablespoon of butter. Throw this in the microwave, let it melt, mix it together. There's your breadcrumb. Just blanch these green beans. Got our beautiful caramelized onions. And of course, our cream mushroom chilling out here. One last measure. Want to make sure our green beans are seasoned correctly. So I'm gonna put it into the pan and just season those up. So we're gonna go in with some salt and a little bit of black pepper. Go in with my hands and give them a toss. Get it all incorporated together and back into the pan. And at this point, we can add in our Parmesan Reggiano. You could use about half of it here, save the rest for the top. Now that that's all mixed together, I'm gonna go in about half of the caramelized onions on the bottom here. Want to spread it across evenly throughout our pan. Let's add the last layer of this, those being caramelized onions, our shallots, fried shallots that we bought from the store, and our panko breadcrumb. So we're going to go in with our other half of caramelized onions over the top here, and go in with a nice layer of fried shallots. And then we'll go in panko breadcrumb. Make sure. And last but not least, Parmesan Reggiano. Add that into the top. So let's go ahead and throw this in the oven, get a nice crust going, and then let's get the taste test. And I gotta be honest, out of all the Thanksgiving sides, I think green bean casserole might be my favorite. So I'm just gonna get a little bit of everything in there. Bite for you, and bite for me. That is incredible. The extra effort that you put into making the green bean casserole from scratch and not from the can is not wasted. Beautiful. I love the crispness of the green beans. Just fresher. They have that nice sweetness. And the fact that we made the creamy mushroom from scratch, and then those caramelized onions on the back end. And that undeniable crunch of the fried shallots and the panko breadcrumbs. Fire. Gonna have to see what Denzel says. Get him in here. Get him in here.
Hi guys. You guys know I love vegetables so much, so let's try this this green bean casserole.
Look, bro, I promise it's not what you expect.
So much green in it. I just love vegetables.
Stop the cap.
Just get a bite for me.
Denzel eating vegetables twice?
Bro, I think Ezra single-handedly made vegetables good again for me. Like, I don't know. Honestly, I think I'll take this one too.
Well, that's that. Denzel took the plate away. Thank you for tuning in for another video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe down below for more recipes, reviews, and challenges. We'll see you later.